All right, let me show you what is in the package of the Holy Stone HS790. I do like these little cases. This one makes it look quite compact, pretty nice. You have a battery charger, and it's not just a regular old charger, but you can do a couple neat things with it. One is, by turning on these batteries here, you can then use the output and charge a phone or charge a controller or something with a little remnant battery that's in there. The other thing you can do is plug your other batteries in, put your in port, and you're charging all of the batteries one at a time, but they're all sitting there getting charged nice and happy. So a couple things that are pretty handy with this charging block. Kind of like it. The other thing, you have your controller, and feels like pretty similar to a lot of the controllers that are out there these days. This one has pretty solid neutral, which is nice. Some of them are a little floppy. It's got a little heft to it. It's not all cheap plastic. Inside here are your gimbals, screw-in gimbals for your controller there. There's also a C port right there, which hooks into your phone. Here's something that kind of is a bummer, not a bummer, but this plugs into there and this plugs into your phone. The only problem that you have is if you have a case on it, that's not going to fit in there properly. So you either need to get an extender, or what I did was just buy a small C to iPhone plug, and that's what I use on mine. But you can use either way. All right, let's get into the drone. That's the big deal, right? I do like this little strap. Not all of them come with something like that. Open it up. So, a couple things that, from a spec perspective. Let's see, drone weighs, it is over 250 grams. It's about 377. The size of it, as you can see, there's claiming it's around 249 millimeters by 205 millimeters. And it's about, the props about 150 millimeters in length. Batteries, these are 2S or 7.7 volt, 3,200 milliamp batteries. So, yeah, I do like the part that, yes, it'll charge in the block, but it'll also, with just any C connector with enough watts. You can't plug this into like your cell phone charger and expect to charge to charge the batteries. You can charge the controller at a lower power wattage output, but not the batteries itself. All right, so what are we claiming here? What is Holy Stone claiming about this drone? One is they're saying you can get about 30 minutes of flight time. I did not experience that. But now that's maybe just sitting there hovering 30 minutes. I'm flying around, get anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes pretty easily and pretty reliably. It does have built-in remote ID. Range, they say, maybe 6 miles. However, the FAA would frown upon that, so I am not testing the range. What I have tested so far on it, though, looking at the threshold on the remote and or the screen, it looks like it can go quite far. Further than line of sight for sure, but I don't know the total distance. It does have that 3-axis gimbal, so you're going to get a steady flight, which is kind of nice for videos and pictures. The camera's nothing special. They didn't upgrade this to a magical camera. It's pretty much standard that I see in most of the drones that are out there. Return to home on several ways. Either 1, your battery dies. 2, you just click the button to return to home. And emergency mode, fail safe, and things like that. But it does have that, and I've tested it. It's surprising how well that works as far as how close it comes to the home point. It's important to make sure you have a quality GPS connection for home point. If you're going to be flying far away, and you might use return to home. Also has some of those fancy camera modes, the zoomy, the straight up in the air, the circle around you and follow you, even has a night mode. Out of those I've tested, The night mode, I couldn't tell. It maybe looks like you can adjust the it adjusts the aperture for you. That's another thing that I'm not crazy about with this, is that you can't make any changes to the camera. All right, so on some you can, this one you cannot. The night mode, it seemed to kind of work, but I don't know. It didn't make a big difference at low light conditions, somewhat. Yeah. Follow me, it worked okay, but it didn't keep me in the center of the screen. Now, I'm going to show all that in the video here ahead. We're going to go through some of those things and highlight that. So stick around, going to go through that, and then in the end, we'll summarize. What are some of the pros and cons of this drone? Stick around. First things first, you need to do a couple things in setting. In the upper right corner, there's that little setting bar. Get out of beginner mode. You can make changes to heights, altitude, return to home. Return to home altitude is important. Need to calibrate the compass, and that you look at the screen. It's going to tell you what you need to do. So follow those instructions. It'll beep once and then beep twice, and then it'll ask you to set it down in a level spot to calibrate the gyroscope. Hit calibration, and you're done. You're ready to fly. Do that before every flight. All right, we've calibrated, we're ready to go for your first flight. So what I'm going to do here is walk through the menu. So in the upper left corner, it says GPS mode. It'll say different kinds of modes depending. It gives you some insight. Then you'll have on the top middle, you'll have height, and you can set this up into metric or imperial. So your drone height, the distance from the controller, vertical speed, and horizontal speed. Move across, you have remote ID, and I've tested it. It does broadcast. You have the compass setting, 32. So I believe the larger the number, the less it's working, if that makes sense. Then you have the strength of the controller to the drone. You obviously want more bars. More bars means a better signal. Then you have compass, or the satellite there. That gives you, I'm sorry, I said compass, but I meant the satellites. So that, the larger that number, the better, and the more bars, the better. Then you'll have the drone battery. Next is the controller battery, and then you have the setting options. Working down, obviously you have how much space is on the SD card. There's a couple other things that are nice, as far as switching between camera and video. You have an album. If we shoot over to the lower left corner, and this is something that it shows here as a map, and if you click it, it goes to that compass mode there. The only beef I have is that as I am turning my body with the controller to point my controller at the drone, that compass isn't changing. It was hard for me to figure out where the drone was. In this flight, it wasn't a problem, but in some flights where you might be flying further than line of sight, just understanding exactly where the drone is, this didn't do that. Why? Maybe it's a software update. I did find that there were things that didn't work, and then I did a software update and they work fine. So anyway, just wanted to kind of walk you through the screen. Some of the camera tools, meaning, hey, I want to follow me, or I want to do a circle or whatever, they require a little finesse of using them. Keep in mind also, there is no sensor on this drone. So if you do a circle and it's a large diameter circle and you go into the trees, it's going to go right into the trees. There's no smarts about it. It takes a little finagling to make it work how you want it to work, and I would suggest you play with that. It works well, it's fine, good GPS quality, and there's a couple different tools, right? So here is the circle, follow me, and I can adjust that as it's rotating around me. I can move my right stick as far as for tightening the circle, expanding the circle, use my left stick for speeding up, height, things like that. Another option is those quick shots, and there's these three here. One is just basically climb and go backwards while filming, and it gives you, kind of gives you a warning of what it's going to do, so you don't crash into a tree, because it's just going to do what you tell it to do. Again, nice thing about this drone is adjusting the camera angle is really, really good. And on that right side, you see how the camera is tilted, and the thumb wheel on the right really gives you some granularity. It's pretty nice. Another quick shot is just straight up in the air to 99 feet. And you can make those adjustments as you see fit. There's ways to do that. So hit that start and it's going to go straight up. I kind of wanted it to center over me a little bit better. So I moved in, changed the angle of the camera. Again, that works very nice and gives you some details as far as how the camera is pointed. And then I'll click start. It'll tell me, hey, you're going to do something here. Are you sure no obstacles are in the way? Hit yes, and there it goes. And then you adjust the camera to keep it under you, so on and so forth. Pretty simple stuff. Works okay. You know, I don't typically use those kind of settings. Maybe to get some B-roll kind of film. They're kind of neat, but just my opinion. Wanted to get some low light footage. As I said, you can adjust the camera as far as to change the exposure or anything like that. So here took off, it was, you know, sunset, and I wanted to get some footage of this. It actually did pretty well. As you can see, fly around a little bit. Obviously, you know, it'd be nice if the sun was, if I would have caught it 15 minutes earlier, that would have been pretty cool. But anyway, gives you just a little bit of an idea of what does it look like from a low light evening kind of flight perspective. Not too shabby. I did test out night mode. This is without night mode video, and this is with night mode video. Frankly, I don't think I'd use either one. Pretty grainy and not very helpful. Wanted to show off just a little bit more footage in a full sun kind of scenario. This is probably around 8 in the morning. The sun is nice and bright and harsh, but the camera is still doing fine as far as there's no adjustments, right? So this is all auto. So I'm going to go up to several hundred feet. You can only go to 394 feet. It won't let you go any higher than that, even though in this particular area we're allowed to fly higher because it is a FAA FRIA. So, but that's just the way it is with the limitations on the drone. Do like the camera. I like the stability. I really like the thumb wheel to control the angle of the camera because it is very smooth and you can get some smooth footage of that. Welcome back. All right, let's summarize this. Let's go over the positives of this drone. Couple things. One is, I thought the stability in the camera, for me, good. Is it magical camera? Can I get 6K video? I'm not going to need that. I want something that has a 3-axis gimbal and it's stable at most levels. To me, that's fine. Being able to change that camera from 4K to something else, 2.8, it's okay. Photographs and having some of those videos go onto my phone. Sometimes it's nice if I want to show somebody what I just did. It's nice that it records to the phone and you have an option to maybe not have it record to the phone or to record to the phone. Flight times, 15 to 20 minutes, which I think is fine. It says it'll go 30. If I just hovered there and did a hover test, maybe it would do that. I'm not going to do that though. From a GPS return to home perspective, very accurate, very good. Never had a problem with it not landing within 4 feet of the launch zone. The small case, I really liked how small and compact that got. I could throw it in luggage. I could take it with me. It's not a burden to grab that kind of stuff. Speed-wise, when I was turning it up onto fast mode or speed mode or whatever they want, sport mode, pretty zippy and kind of fun to just cruise around. Is it a race drone? No, it's not. It's a camera drone. But fast enough to cover some ground if I wanted to, well over 20 miles an hour. The battery charging block, that hub, is another plus. I think that's kind of neat, and I haven't seen anything like that with anybody else other than, the big DJIs. They have that, but you pay for that. All right, let me talk about some of the negatives. So one of the cons was when I initially started, the app on my phone kept crashing. And it just kept going. I deleted all my other apps, or at least closed everything out, restarted my phone, and it kept crashing. Updated the app, the firmware on the app, and all of a sudden, it works great. The only thing I have as far as, Holy Stone, if you're listening, make sure that little compass thing in the lower left corner switches back from map to compass. I'd love to see the orientation of where I'm pointing and rotating around, pointing directly so I could see, am I pointing directly at my controller at the drone to maximize distance and clarity of the FPV. Just something that I like on other drones out there, and I find it a big benefit, and this one doesn't have it. The follow me was okay, didn't follow me or keep me in the center exactly. There's no camera adjustments. You can't adjust white balance or exposure or things like that. Can't do that. Those kind of things that's it. Other than that, I thought the drone was very good. Price-wise, I have no idea what the price is going to be on this drone. This is a pre-release. It's releasing the day I release this video is the day that this is releasing. I'll be able to see the price. Hopefully, it should be, like most of the Holy Stones, pretty competitive. And I find that the quality and such is good, but that's up to you to decide. Yeah. So anyway, hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Like, subscribe, all the cool stuff. Appreciate it. Have a great day.